Having spent years deep in the trenches of in-vehicle experience design, I can say with absolute certainty that crafting a best-in-class automotive interface is not easy. It's not just about making something work. It's about making something feel right. It's an extension of the machine itself, ultimately. And in my experience, there are really three immutable laws that separate great from dangerous. First is speed. Latency kills, plain and simple. And in any digital experience, a laggy interface is a frustration, but in a car, it's a liability. The best in-vehicle systems don't just respond quickly, they anticipate. As a driver, you should feel the machine is reading your mind, executing your intent before your conscious brain even registers it. This is why raw processing power matters. A great example of this is BMW's Heart of Joy processor. I recently detailed it, and I found it was really more than a marketing ploy. It's a total rethink of how a car should be digitally powered. But it's not always about sheer processing power. Many times it's about working within the constraints to find the right balance. For instance, Cadillac OS, which I'm really intimately familiar with, only makes use of things like Unreal Engine in moments where the experience benefits from it, and not where it doesn't. And that keeps the experience fluid and quick all across the entire OS. Then there's Rivian, that has rethought its entire vehicle technical stack, reducing the overall number of ECUs, minimizing complexity, and ultimately increasing responsiveness of its in-vehicle OS. Second is what I call UI inevitability. The best UI isn't learned, it's understood. Tap, hold, scroll, these should all be second nature because you already know the interface patterns. An interface that fades in the background, allowing the driver to interact without measurable cognitive load, is the safest possible scenario. Yet despite the promise of connected car technology, adoption lags. Why is that? Well, it's because too many manufacturers have overcomplicated the experience. Features are buried beneath layers of menus, icons are designed for an iPad rather than a cockpit, and there's been a general reluctance to embrace interaction patterns from some automakers that we all know from apps and websites and other consumer devices that we're familiar with. Then there's the over-reliance on software when a well-positioned button or knob just works better. Scout is a great example where a brand is working to blend modern UI with a tactile control. Drivers don't fear technology in my experience. They fear getting it wrong at 70 miles an hour. Third and final is brand. And it sounds strange, but bear with me on this. A car's digital experience is its brand. Badge, bodywork, and the sound or hum of the powertrain all matter. But in a world where screens are the primary touch point, the in-car interface carries just as much weight. A Mini's UI should feel playful. A Cadillac should exude luxury. BMW should really exude precision and control. But this is a tightrope to walk. How do you inject personality into an interface that by its very nature must conform to universal interaction principles? That's the fine art of modern automotive UX, and it's where companies like Scout, BMW, Cadillac, and Rivian are beginning to carve out distinct identities through their digital experiences. The future of in-vehicle experience isn't just about touchscreens and processors. It's what they unlock in making the machine feel alive, immediate, and unmistakably itself. Done right, it becomes more than UI. It becomes the soul of the car as much as the metal on the outside and the motor under the hood.